House of David Episode 1. The Shepherd's Anointing. The episode begins in the quiet, pastoral landscapes of Bethlehem, a small but significant town in the land of Judah. The camera sweeps across rolling hills dotted with sheep, their bleating filling the air as the sun rises over the horizon. A young David, barely in his teens, is seen tending to his father's flock. He is not just any shepherd. He is a boy with a heart full of dreams and a soul attuned to the divine. As he watches over the sheep, he strums a simple lyre, his voice soft but filled with passion as he sings psalms of praise to God. The peacefulness of the scene contrasts with the turmoil brewing in the wider land of Israel. Meanwhile, in the royal courts of Gibeah, King Saul, the first king of Israel, is struggling. Once a mighty and favored ruler, Saul has now fallen out of grace with God. His disobedience and pride have led to his rejection as king, and a dark spirit torments him. His advisors, desperate to ease his suffering, suggest finding a skilled musician to soothe his troubled mind. Unbeknownst to them, this search will set the stage for a divine connection between Saul and the young shepherd boy from Bethlehem. Back in Bethlehem, the prophet Samuel arrives in the town, sent by God on a mission that will change the course of Israel's history. Samuel is grieving over Saul's downfall but obeys God's command to anoint a new king from the house of Jesse. The elders of Bethlehem tremble at Samuel's arrival, fearing his presence might bring divine judgment. Samuel reassures them, saying he comes in peace, and calls for Jesse and his sons to join him for a sacrifice. Jesse, a humble farmer and shepherd, gathers his sons, all except David, who is left in the fields to tend the sheep. One by one, Jesse presents his eldest sons to Samuel: Eliab, Abinadab, Shammah, and the others. Each son is tall, strong, and warrior-like, the very image of what one might expect a king to be. But as Samuel looks at each one, God whispers to him, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him." The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Samuel, perplexed, turns to Jesse and asks, "Are these all the sons you have?" Jesse hesitates, then remembers David, the youngest, who is out in the fields. "There is still the youngest," Jesse says, almost dismissively. "He is tending the sheep." Samuel insists that David be brought before him immediately. David arrives, his face flushed from running, his hands still smelling of the earth and sheep. He is not as tall or imposing as his brothers, but there is a light in his eyes, a spark of faith, courage, and humility. Samuel immediately knows this is the one. He takes his horn of oil and anoints David in the presence of his family. The Spirit of the Lord comes powerfully upon David from that day forward, marking him as the future king of Israel. The scene shifts back to the fields, where David returns to his flock, now carrying the weight of a divine calling. He doesn't fully understand what lies ahead, but he trusts in God's plan. Meanwhile, the camera cuts to King Saul's court, where the king's torment grows worse. His advisors recall hearing of a young shepherd in Bethlehem who is skilled with the lyre and suggest bringing him to the palace. Saul agrees, and messengers are sent to Jesse's house. Jesse, though hesitant to send his youngest son away, agrees, and David is brought to the royal court. The contrast between the humble shepherd and the grandeur of the palace is stark. David, carrying his lyre, stands before Saul, who is visibly agitated. As David begins to play, the music fills the room, a melody so pure and soothing that it drives away the evil spirit tormenting Saul. For a moment, peace returns to the king's heart, and he is deeply impressed by the young shepherd. The episode ends with David being appointed as one of Saul's armor-bearers, a position that brings him into the king's inner circle. But beneath the surface, tensions simmer. Saul's growing instability and David's rising favor hint at the conflicts to come. The stage is set for a dramatic and tumultuous journey, as the House of David begins to take shape.
Of Joshua, not for hundreds of years. This is a Philistine trick to intimidate us, to terrify us. Yes. Son, his time has passed. The age of judges is over. This is the age of kings, and we are its stewards. The first dynasty of Israel.
Well, we should still honor him. He speaks for God.
Why can God not speak to me? He's anointed.
Anointed by Samuel.
Jonathan. Leave it now. Come. We have a celebration to enjoy.
The Lord speak.
We must go.
Yes, mother.
I am Adriel, son of Barzillai, elder of the tribe of Judah.
Greeting.
But the Lord of hosts heard our cry and blessed us with a king. Boils of the Amalekites renews its pledge of fealty to the anointed of the Lord Most High.
I pray I am remembered as a good king, but he will be greater than I. To your prince.
Perfect in every way.
Fight for the tribe of Judah!
Without the humiliation. He has tormented our people for a generation. Think you need wine? Relax. Place a wager.
He has defeated the Amalekites in our midst. Greetings, Samuel. Come. Come, my old friend.
Most High. And the rumblings